Good morning and welcome. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. I am Marie. This is episode 237. There you go. On a rather chilly Thursday, the 23rd of March. Yes, had to bust out the old Miss Jane this morning. Oh gosh, I better do myself up. It is chilly. Really, really chilly this morning when I got up and at 'em. And there's a real bite to the air, certainly down in this part of the world there is at least anyway. So good time to get knitting and stocking up on your supplies to make sure you've got plenty to knit across the winter period. So what have I got to show you and talk about this morning? Plenty to talk about this morning. Good morning, everybody. I hope everything is good around at your place. The biggest thing is just how things are tracking with Epic Sale. So the great news is that in terms of getting deliveries out, things are actually tracking along quite smoothly. The girls put a new system in place earlier. Actually, it was the end of last year, and it definitely is making a difference. They're actually tracking and moving through the lists more efficiently than what last year was. So I know that they're now all through that first day, and I think they're now packing through Sunday and Monday today. So that is amazing. Last year, it took us an entire week to get out of the first day of Epic sales. So that is really good news. So we are really happy about that. We've just had an alert come through this morning from our content management and warehousing people who look after all of that for us, and they have actually identified some oversolds. So if you get one of the little dreaded slips in your parcel, we apologise profusely for that. There's not a lot that we can do. Sometimes these computers don't talk to each other, and that it just is what it is. We have no control over that. However, whenever that happens, we automatically refund you back to your credit card. So then that way you get the money back in your hot little hand. So if you can go shopping again. I know that one of the yarns most affected has been the Blueberry Crush. So if you don't get your Blueberry Crush, just know that you are amongst quite a few. That was oversold quite significantly. So we apologise for that, but we will make sure that you are refunded as quick as you can so you can go shopping again. So that's good news. This morning, I'm in the shop on my own today, which is fun because I get up to all sorts of mischief when I'm here by myself. But one of the things I have been doing this morning is just having a little bit of a rejig on the sale page, moving some stuff into the page, moving some stuff out, getting rid of all the ones that are out of stock, and actually checking stocks of yarns that have been on sale just to see how they're moving and tracking. One of the things that I've definitely noticed is vintage DK is now starting to get very, very, very low. So if you're wanting to get some vintage DK into stash, you need to get onto that fairly quickly. So I'm moving. So what's on this Epic Sale page is pretty much what is left. I've gone and taken a photo of my handwritten note. But these are the yarns that are getting very, very low in stock. And this is vintage DK and the duck egg paprika, Diva, porcelain, turmeric, truffle, and Wedgwood. So if you want any of those shades in stash to have for this upcoming winter, you will need to actually get your skates on and order those now, because once they've gone, the yarn is going on hiatus. As I said to you, we're looking at bringing the production of that yarn back to us here in New Zealand. But of course, Gabby has gone and thrown an absolute huge spanner in that works, so we don't know when that is going to be. So you need to make sure you stock up on that now. Also, duck egg and Diva in 10 ply are also very, very low. What I am doing, and I had just started doing it before I realised what the time was, is I'm moving all the 10 plies across to the sale page now, so they're easier for you to search. That 10 ply is utterly fantastic. It's great to work with. I use the eggshell for a Aran project I did a couple of years ago. If you are somebody that knits for charity, or you're giving a lot away, or you've got a lot of double knitting patterns in your stash, and you're sort of looking at the 10 ply thinking, well, I don't know what to do with this. Here's one of the tips that I will give you is 10 ply, the vintage 10 ply is 15% thicker than the DK. So generally you work to a 4.5 or a 5 millimeter needle, but you aim for a tension. The tension generally is again around 15 to 18% different to what you get on a DK. So when you have your double knitting patterns, all you need to do is make sure that whatever you knit is going to be around 15% bigger than what the finished size is there. So that's a rough rule of thumb. It works proportionally. So if you've got a whole heap of DK patterns, you can use 10 ply for it. You can actually even knit it like a DK. Just be aware that you're going to have 15% less volume or length on your ball of yarn. But if you just up your needle size, it will just take that size up by that little amount. So don't be afraid to use 10 ply. And I have to admit, you can actually stretch it up to those sort of bigger needles, 5 millimeter. Some people do blankets on 5.5 millimeter and it just knits so fast. So those 10 ply is a really, really great option. Don't be afraid of it. Speaking of 10 plies, we have actually sold out of a number of the tweeds. In fact, all the 3 new colours have gone: Sterling, Rambling Rose and Masala. I know, right? Knew you would love them. We love them too. So they are all gone, but there are still stocks of the other shades remaining. There has been concern. I have actually seen, I've had one, actually, and they were from the same person, an email and a posting I saw around the photography and the colour of the tweeds. They received the yarn and sort of, they felt that it wasn't representative. We have had those professionally actually the 3 that sold out weren't professionally photographed. They were photographed by moi, but the others were. And the difficulty when we're photographing, particularly presenting any yarns that are in a paler, sort of a mid to pale spectrum, is that so everybody's screen is so different. How many times have you heard me stand here and hold up a yarn saying, oh, that yarn looks completely different on screen? And it is the same for anything that we photograph. So when we photograph these yarns, even when I'm color matching them, we actually color match exactly to what we have available to us at the time. We do our very best to get it right, but we can't control the settings of everybody's screens at the other end. And there's a whole bunch of things that are different, like blue light filters and whether or not you set your screen to a warm or cool tone, whether it's set on daylight or nighttime mode. There's a million and one different settings that you have on your devices and desktops to actually control what things look like. And that, when it means little subtleties with your screen, will actually mean that things will appear different. And also too, there sometimes can be slight batch variations between one batch of yarn and another, and we never photograph in between batches because that just frankly gets really expensive. So we always maintain that if you're not happy about the colour of a yarn or it's not particularly to your tastes, we understand that it is a little bit of a mixed bag when you're having to order online. You can always contact us, send the yarn back, swap it out for something different, or receive a credit so you can go shopping for something else. We never argue about that, particularly if the colour isn't 100% of what to your liking or what you're after. So do remember you can do that. Mind you, just in saying during sale time, that process can be a little bit slower than usual. Right, where was I? So tweeds. So you need to get your skates on with the tweeds, especially they are starting to sell down quite quickly. Speaking of things a little thicker, I have just added to the sale page this morning, now that there's some room there because we are getting very low on these too, is the last of the batch. Which is this great yarn. I love Batch. Batch is a 12 ply or American bulky, if using American terms. It's 100% wool. It's a great yarn. We love this yarn to pieces. It knits super fast. The colours are fantastic. What's happening with this range is we've actually transitioned it across to warm. The best selling colours in Batch have all gone into warm. So that is our 14 ply or chunky range. And that is because we've got Southland Bulky is our big seller in 12 ply. So we've gone and made sure that you can still get those colours in solids, but in that 14 ply range. So the last of those 12 plies are available. They are priced to sell $5.95 a ball. That's a 100 gram ball, people, $5.95. So do make sure, again, this is a great one for stash if you need to have a quick project whipped up, whether it be a quick sweater or a jumper, great for knitting fast things for adults. That's amazing buying at that $5.95 for a 100 gram ball. That is just like bonkers cheap. So those have all been moved onto the sale page this morning. As I said, I've got 5 shades available online. I do actually have 7 shades in store. There's the amount that the 2 other shades that I have in store, I don't have enough to pop online. So if you're local, you can actually you've got more of a choice. So isn't that good news? Will batch felt, Marie? Yeah, Janet, that is a great question. Technically, yes, because it is a gentle hand wash. However, I know that it doesn't felt as readily as Southlander. So you have to really beat it up to felt it, because I know what you're thinking. You've got hobo totes on the mind, haven't you, Janet? Hobo totes. Personally, I actually think if you're wanting to do a hobo tote, is I would actually get vintage 10-ply and you could either double strand vintage 10-ply or even vintage DK, because that felt, or even Perrindale, double strand any of those and felt them instead. Yes, that's what I would do. That was my suggestion for that. You could try it with the batch, but I do know that it has got like a, what we call it, after treatment on it, just to help the hand and make it beautiful, soft and squishy. But that also makes it wear better in if you're hand washing, or it improves the wear, and it will mean that it won't felt as readily. So there's a question for that. What else have I got to tell you? We're trying to see if we can get some more Zing kits. Can't guarantee it though, but I do have done a little dig around with stocks. I do still have the Symphony sets available, and it's similar to the Zings. It's got the 4 cables. It's got the 8 tips from 3.5 through to 8mm, and it comes again in a great case that you can travel with. And this is the other one which I just love. These needles are beautiful to work with. This is the Knit Pro Symphony Rose set. So this is using rosewood. These are stunning. We sold a lot of these across last year. It is just that they're beautiful, really, really beautiful. And we have got a handful of these back. And these rosewood needles are absolutely stunning to work with. I find that they're smoother and a little bit hardier than the laminated standard symphonies. They really, again, it glides off the needles. If you're not a metal needle fan, you will absolutely love these. They are smoother and harder and more robust than bamboo as well. So we do have some of those, and you will see those on the sale page too. So they are there. So there's still plenty to have and come. As well, on the things are selling out page, Perrindale, on the $2.95 Perrindales, Ice Blue, Ultraviolet, Buttermilk and Fuchsia are still available, but the stocks of those are starting to drive down really, really quickly. So if you are charity knitting and you want those $2.95 balls, I would jump on and grab those ASAP before they disappear. And on the vintage front as well, the prints, oh my gosh, those prints have sold so well. Alpine mono and jewel mono are nearly finished as well. So do make sure that you get on and get your skates on to get them before they will sell out too. Right, I'm going to get going because Heather has just arrived and I've got to get stock put away and things moved into the website and flags out and all those good things to set myself up for a day. If you are about in the bay today, do pop in and say hello. I'll be here from 10 till 3:30. Until then, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.